I am Amanda, and this is Wellness Me Up. It's where we're going to talk about all the weird and wise and just wildly supportive sides of wellness with coaches that you can actually connect with when you're done pretending that everything is fine in your life. So today I am joined by Vera Jackson, who is a nutritional therapist. And I asked Vera to sum up their approach to wellness in one or two sentences. And here is what Vera said. Wellness is a journey of discoveries, changes, ups and downs. Changing health and wellness is a lot about commitment. So let's see if what Vera has to say can help you get a little bit more wellness up. Okay, there we are. Vera, see, there we are. We're here now.
Yes, hi Amanda.
Oh my gosh. So before the podcast, we were talking about all sorts of fun. I think I should start hitting record before the podcast starts and then leave it running after because we have such fun and silly conversations before. And so we were just talking about travel and just experiences and what's
Yeah.
upcoming in our lives and all that good stuff. So Turkey was the topic of conversation. So if people have ever been to Turkey, oh, there's so much magic that is going on there. So I just absolutely love it. Um, so on the podcast, I've got you here today because we want to learn about what you're doing and how you're supporting everybody out there in the wellness field. So what I do for the listeners is I just dive in and talk first about what area of wellness that you support people in. So whether it's spiritual wellness, relationship wellness, emotional and mental health wellness, life transitions, identity, financial and purpose wellness, like I think I said physical wellness, didn't I? Because I feel like that's what you help people with. So it's like spoiler alert. But let people let us know what areas that you support people through and how you actually support them on that journey.
I'd say physical wellness, that's definitely yes, because I work with physical health, but it's not just physical because it's all connected. I'd say also emotional wellness and mental wellness because our physical health is very much connected to our mental health, emotional health, and that journey onto healing, onto feeling better physically, it's actually very much depends on how we feel emotionally, how we feel mentally. So physically, definitely, yes. And I'd also say mental and emotional wellness too.
Mhm.
Yes.
See, I love how you do it because it is all connected, right? And
Yeah.
that's it's even when I think about the branding that I have, like I have all the hexagons and I think of a honeycomb and bee because all of these things are connected in wellness. Sometimes you can't show up without doing one thing or the other thing. So to start working on your physical health, it's like you might have some mental and emotional barriers that you want to work
Yeah.
through and process, right? So it's not sometimes just one neat little container.
Mm.
And that's popping up with like so many of the coaches that I'm chatting with on here, right? It's not just one. They all kind of trickle into each other a little bit.
Yeah.
So when somebody finds out where you are and who you are, and that you help people in this space of physical wellness and nutrition and all of these things, and they don't know what it is or where they need to start, they just know that something needs to change. How is it that you're meeting them in that moment to help them with their nutrition goals?
It is a good question, and to be honest, I think this is the most important question because that's how it normally happens. You know, a person comes to a nutritionist, nutritional therapist, often without knowing what exactly they want. They just come saying, "Oh, something is not right." You know, my doctors say my results, like I had a test, my results are normal, but I don't feel normal. So I want to change, but I don't know how to, I don't know what to. So. I think the most important is that setting a goal. So we just pause and we just chat basically. We talk about the person. I work with women, with women's health, with low energy, with feeling tired. So we talk about how it makes you feel. If you're feeling tired, what do you feel every day? How it impacts your life? Is there anything which you want to do, but you can't do? And people start saying, "Oh yeah, I'd love to go outdoors more, but I can't because I feel so exhausted." Or "Oh, yeah, I'd love to to do things, but I can't because like I'm not sleeping well and I feel tired all the time. You know, I'd love to change it, but I don't know how to because I feel exhausted. So we just work out these little goals. You say, okay, so you're not sleeping well, and maybe how we can change that, how it makes you feel, like what's the barrier to you like sleeping better, and we just work it out from there. Basically, work out these little simple goals, which will be the part of the journey. And often people don't realize that this is the journey. Basically, this is the start of the journey. It's not like you come to doctor, he prescribe you like walk 10,000 steps a day, drink 3 liters of water, and that's your goal. It's working out the goal. So it's about pausing, it's about talking, and it's about basically, it's about the person, the woman realizing what she wants and what is the main target for her, what she wants to achieve, how she wants to feel. And that's how it goes normally. Yeah.
Mhm. Something that you said like at the beginning of that, right? And you gave some really real practical examples of what might be happening. Like, I'm not sleeping, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But that thing that you said at the beginning, maybe somebody has gone to a doctor and they're like, yeah, test results, they're fine, everything's great, nothing's happening. But the person still feels like they feel like shit still. They're not feeling great. They're not feeling amazing. And it's a common thing that happens out
It
there.
is.
It's a very common thing that happens. And sometimes we can get into this acceptance thing with our wellness that we think, oh, the doctor said everything's good, or the nurse said everything's good, but you still feel like something is off, something's not right, or you can change, or you can do something, right? Something's not right in there. And so I really appreciate how you labeled that, because we don't have to accept what somebody is saying. We can still lean into our goals and we can still shift and change. Because you're right, a doctor is not going to prescribe, go walk 10,000 steps and do all these things. Like, but if they're hitting that wall in the medical field or something like that is happening, but they're still feeling like something's off or they want to change or they can pivot, then they can come and work with you, who's a nutritionist, and we can be like, hey, let's actually get into what's happening, whether it is you're not getting enough sleep, whether it is like you're not getting enough sunlight, some basic wellness, things that are happening in our lives, right? So I really appreciate that you named that right away, that we don't have to accept no from things. We can still work on things and start somewhere, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when people start working with you and they so somebody starts working with you,
Mm.
are there do your clients have like some sort of moments or realizations in their wellness goals that start propelling them towards everything? Like if they start, like they just have these aha moments. Like is there something particular that you work with them on that you kind of are seeing a pattern with, that people are like, oh, look, I get it now. Like I can do this. Like, is there anything that just starts to propel them towards these goals instead of staying in that stuck mode before they started seeing you?
Well, when I start working with people, uh, I'm trying to word this correctly. It's basically when the change starts in happening, because often people come to me and they're unsure of what's gonna happen. They just come because they think, okay, fine, well, I've tried everything and it's not working. I've tried diet, it's not working. I've tried like medication, it's not working. So I want it to work and I want to try something else on the top. So they come to me already, even though not sure if it's going to work or not. They're very surprised when I just first time send them off. Okay, let's do these few little things, not like 100 pages plan. You have to change your life completely, throw your life away, and that's it. From today, you're a brand new person. You doing this, waking up at 6 a.m., going to bed at 9 p.m., and they used to like wake up at 10 and go to bed at like 1 a.m. So they're very surprised when I send them over. It's like, let's do these few little steps, and it starts working. And the person comes back to me next time saying, It's working, like I sleep a bit better. I didn't do much. I just started eating like a bit farther away from bedtime, having dinner earlier and I sleep better. And or I drink more water, just a little bit, and I have more energy, daytime. And that surprises people so much, and it's so great for motivation. It's because when one thing changes, even a little bit, it prompts person to do more. Person feels like, wow, I've done it. They feel motivated and they feel, yeah, I want to do more. Let's do more of it. I want to eat more. I want to have more results. So I think that is the main thing. People often get surprised how small steps, small changes can take them very, very long way. And they don't have to throw their life away to feel better. They don't have to become a completely brand new person, which they don't want to be. They leave their life with like a little bit of changes. Yeah, that surprises people a lot.
Mhm. So, and that's the question. I look like you talk, that's the next question I have is like what your clients are usually most surprised by after working with
Uh-huh.
you. And so you literally just blended in this, what they're surprised about is actually what starts propelling them towards their wellness goals. Because you
Yeah.
don't need to become an entirely new person. We think that, right? Like
Yeah.
I can't count how many times I've heard, oh, you need to wake up at 5 a.m. if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur and you need to work at on your business at 5 a.m. You got to get up, you got to do this, like join the 5 a.m. club. Fuck no, that's not the only way to be successful at
That's
business. If
not for me,
that's
definitely.
no, I'm
It's
like,
a
there's no
no.
way. Like, there's no way that that's what I'm gonna do. If like that's not my natural rhythm or any of that stuff. Like, I'm the person that loves to lucid dream. I'm the person that likes to sleep in until 11.
Yeah.
So my day is not going to start until 12 o'clock. Nothing about starting at 5 a.m. is going to be better for my life. So I'm not going to do that stuff because it's not going to feel good. And I'm not going to want to keep up with those changes. I can't
Yeah.
sustain those changes. And so I love how you're phrasing that too, right? It's like these surprises of like, oh, what do you mean I don't actually have to like change entirely? I can just do tiny little things. And then you want to do a little bit more of these things. And that's oh, I'm getting this analogy of like, and I don't know why I'm thinking about baking, but when you start in flour, if you dump in all of the flour, you can't,
Yeah.
it's going to be all lumpy and gross. You have to
Yeah.
add in a little bit at a time and like, whisk that around, swirl it around a little bit. It's not going to be good if we just change everything 100%. So you totally combine those questions. I love that because that's usually the next question I ask is what surprises people? Well, it
All right.
surprises people when they can start figuring out shit like little increments at a time and doing that. So that's so fun. It's very exciting and that would be like a breath of fresh air. I remember
Mm.
when I stopped smoking. I read the book Easy Way to Stop Smoking by Alan Carr.
Yeah, so
And have you heard of this book?
it probably sounds awful for nutritional therapists, but I used to smoke a long, long
Yeah.
time ago. I started
Yeah.
stupidly when I was 16, as many of us. And yeah,
Mhm.
I've read the book, part of it. And yeah, I know how exactly it feels to give up smoking. So yeah,
Yes.
I gave up
Yeah.
not because of the book, but yeah, I
Yeah.
did
See,
read the
and
book.
I used to be a smoker too, and I'm in the wellness space and doing that stuff. But I remember like it was just the way that he worded it was like it was so easy. Like he made me feel like a total
Yeah,
hypocrite, of course. But he just gave me permission to just smoke throughout the book. Like he was like,
yeah.
you can just smoke, you can just do this. You don't have to change this or do whatever. He would tell us to light up, and I'd be like, okay, Alan, I will have a cigarette. Like, thank you very much. Like, thank you for telling me I don't need to change because I thought I was about to read a book and think, if this is telling me to stop, like, like I have to quit right away and whatever else, I'm not going to do it. But he just, so what you're saying is reminding me of that. It's this, hey, you
Mm.
don't actually have to change and do that. Like even with Alan, all the way up until the end, he's like, you don't have to change. Like you can just not, you can keep smoking, but you're gonna be a fucking smoker for the rest of your life if you choose to do that. And it
Yeah.
was like, fuck, like I don't want to do that. So I want to change and I want to shift a bit, but I don't have to change it entirely. But when I started, and it might have been the same for you, when we start to do these little tiny things, we want more of it. Like, how do I breathe a little bit better? How do I go for a little more walks? How do I do this now that I'm gaining all of these things that I didn't have before? So what you're saying is just like lighting up in my brain quite a bit. And I'm very excited to hear that you don't actually have to change. You can just start to do things really slowly and build it in. It doesn't have to be really overwhelming at first. Oh, so good. Um, what I'm doing on this show is I am spinning this wheel of, and I'm calling
Mm.
it a wellness isn't linear, like WTF wheel, because I just think that we should be completely absurd sometimes. And we can be human. Because that's where so many of the good things live. And so what I do is I get ChatGPT to come up with these questions. And they are very funny questions, and some of them are very deep questions. So I have no idea like what we could be talking about. We could be talking about like something extremely profound and deep, or we could be talking about breakthroughs and what kind of snacks we're having. Like I have no idea what's going to happen on this, but I've been spinning it, and we've just been leaning into whatever popping up for us. So let me
Yeah.
let me get my screens together, and I'm gonna pull this up, and that way we can hear what Vera and I are gonna chat about. Oh, so fun. Okay. Let me figure, why can't I figure out what I'm doing today? Share screen, share the sound. Let's do this. All right. Can you see the wheel?
Yeah, yeah, I can.
Okay. Awesome. Let me give this a little twirl and see what our favorite robot assistant wants us to answer today.
Mm.
Although, yeah, there's other robot assistants out there. I shouldn't just be letting ChatGPT take credit for this anymore. But anyway, okay, let's spin it.
There's something coming up.
I know, right? It's like, which way? Okay. What is something you still don't have figured out?
Oh, it's a
Like, what
very
is
deep question.
that is, right? Like, what's something that you still don't have figured out? Like, what is that?
Oh, it can be everything and nothing, is it? Oh, it's a lot. I think it's a lot. It depends in the business, in the like business, the nutrition business. There's always something you haven't figured out yet. There's always something you learn every day. And in the relationship with my client, with other women still, there's always something that people surprise me every day. I meet up with more and more women, surprise me every day, and they think, oh yeah, I haven't thought about this. So I think I would answer, I haven't figured out many things yet, and I keep doing this every day in so many fields, in health, in nutrition, in relationship, in mental health, in coaching. So yeah, it's so many things to figure out still. Some of them figuring out like it's getting there, but it's always something to put on the top. So yeah, there's
Mhm.
always something to figure out.
You're right. There's so many things, right? We can get on to like we may be an expert in the fields that we are in, and we can support people and do all this stuff, but the beauty is none of us have it all figured out. None of us.
Yeah.
There's no wellness check boxes that you have to do that's like, oh, I know everything now. Like
Oh, I wish I know.
yeah, right. Like there's no way of just knowing absolutely everything when we get started on this stuff. We might know a thing or two, but just as much as we know about wellness, and I like how you said that our clients can surprise us with things and they can teach us and do things as well, right? Like, 'cause we don't have all the answers. We don't have perspectives. What might have worked for one person is not necessarily going to work for somebody else.
Oh, that's totally
And
true.
yeah, like we're all just like we all can just create, like we are all builders, we're all creators, and we can all do the things in our lives
Yeah.
that, and we're gonna keep learning. Like nothing is going to, yeah, like it's just yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah, no. So there's a lot to still uncover.
Yeah.
There's a
It's a
lot that we still
journey,
don't
is
know.
it? It's
It is.
life is a journey, and there's always something to learn. And it's like it's always a journey. It's like you stop, you pause, and then you think you're okay to proceed and move forward, but then you realize, no, I
Mhm.
can't have to go back, or like you have to take the turn, pivot. It's like what's more like it goes everywhere. You never
Hmm.
know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So yeah,
Right. Yeah, and things happen in our lives too that pop up, right? Like,
yeah,
or the same situation can surface in our lives all the time, or we're faced with the same decisions. And we get this opportunity to change differently. Otherwise, we get stuck on a little bit of a loop that starts to happen, right?
yeah.
So same things can come up. We might have a little bit more perspective. Just the other day, like I'm hanging out in Portugal and I love going to the castles. I just think like I'm a princess or something going to these things. And I actually got fucking locked in the castle. I didn't leave on time because I was so stuck in my imagination and I was hanging out that I got trapped in the castle. So they had to call people to come and let me out. It was pretty funny. Um, and so here I am, like just in my imagination, but thinking because I keep seeing things around the castle that are reminding me of childhood, of adolescence. And I got lost up there journaling for hours, just about the new perspective that I had about something, right? So, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Stuff you're right. So we basically don't know anything. Like, and we're just, no, we're just out here still learning and doing the things. So I like that. Yeah, that's very good. When I start my self-esteem workshops too with some of the gals, I often say that as well. Like if you meet, it makes me trust somebody more when they say that they don't know everything. And so, I don't know like I don't know everything there is to know about self-esteem. I'm still learning things. There are days that I feel like shit. There are days that I feel like I look fucking good or I feel good, any of those things, right? Same with nutrition. You must run into that with nutrition, right? Like there are days that you're feeling really amazing with the nutrition goals, and other days you're like, I am going to eat that chocolate cake. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do it, or whatever's going to happen, right? Yeah,
Yes, there will be days like that. We're not perfect, so yeah,
yeah.
it's just
Hmm.
gonna happen.
Fair enough. Yeah. So I always, okay, so see, you never know what we're gonna end up talking about. And we talked about nothing, that we know about nothing. Yeah, see? We never know with that wheel what's gonna happen. And tried to like we went deep and it was like, well, we actually just don't know enough about any of the topics yet with wellness or any of the things, but we're still learning.
We're figuring
So
it out, yeah.
we're figuring it out as we go. I always ask this last question on the show, and I know after this, I want to make sure that people can get in contact with you, know more about your coaching services and all that good stuff. But before that, I would love to ask you the question that I've been asking everybody else to wrap up the show in some ways is what does wellness me up mean to you in your own words?
I think ideally the ultimate goal is um to feel better physically, mentally, emotionally, is to feel ideally a woman wants to feel how it's comfortable for her. So wellness me up means that uh, is she moves on to that journey from, oh, I'm feeling like very bad, I'm feeling awful, to, yeah, I'm feeling great. I finally feel how I want to feel. Is that journey. Wellness Me Up is about that journey, which is absolutely different for different people. It's finding a pace which works for that woman because some women they're very committed. They come to me, yeah, I'm going to do this and this and this and this, and then they literally run and progress so quickly, and they think, wow, that's great. But some women are like, well, I've got this coming on, and I've got kids, and I've got work. I can't just do all the things, and that's a slower pace, and that's okay. Wellness Me Up is about finding the pace which is right for you to move on. As soon as you keep moving on, like towards your ultimate goal, towards the way you want to feel, towards the way which you're comfortable, where you can say, yeah, I'm feeling so much better and I'm feeling great. That's what about Wellness Me Up means.
Mhm. I like this question so much, not just because it's the name of the show, but it just ties together really beautifully, like what it is that you offer as a coach and how it is that you support people from the beginning of like what our conversation and talking about where people are and meeting them where they're at, not having to make those really big changes, but just integrating in things that make us feel a little bit better every day and just yeah, I want to keep feeling this way. So this is
Yeah.
what I'm going to do to bring these choices into my life so I keep moving up and leveling myself up that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very. See, and nobody's gonna have that. Nobody has the same answer for that question too, which is so cool because then it goes into what we were just talking about, how none of us know anything, and we're just all still learning, and we can all have different perspectives.
Yes.
And yeah, so uh, I like that very, very much. Vera, how can people get in contact with you? And what other things can we learn about you and what you do as a nutrition therapist and your coaching services and what you offer to people in the space?
The main thing would be coming to my website. It's Vera Jackson, like Vera Jackson Nutrition Co UK. I will send you the website later so you can add in the comments because it's a bit like it's got some like some not commas but other things. It's a bit difficult to spell because it's just too complicated. So the best way is to head up to my website, Vera Jackson Nutrition Co UK, and I've got everything there. I've got the blog as well where I post every week or every 2 weeks different articles about different things really to health in health like which could work for humans, not just perfect people, which could work for normal humans, normal real women. So yeah, that would be the best thing. And I've got all my contacts there. I've got my socials in there. People can follow me on social media from there. I'm most active on Facebook. So yeah, my website would be the main go-to with all my contact details there.
Amazing. And I know every time I hit end record on this, because we had such a fun conversation about travel that nobody's ever going to hear about from the beginning of this. And I'm going to hit end record, and then people are going to be like, why weren't we listening to what Vera and Amanda were talking about after this podcast? But before I hit end record, is there anything that you're like, oh, I really want people to know about this, about my coaching, how I work with people, any of that kind of stuff that you do that I can just help with sharing your word out there with how you support people in the wellness space?
I work with women on well, I work with women, mostly women who feel tired of energy and they don't know where it's coming from. They feel exhausted often, although they eat and sleep well, it seems to be. I also very keen working with high blood sugar, type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes. That's more specialized support, and I do support people. I was diagnosed as pre-diabetic myself some time ago and improved. Yeah, it's very hard to absorb. Like it hits you like a train. Like you think, how is it possible? How did that happen? Why did they miss that? So yeah, it's mainly low energy, feeling tired, feeling exhausted, and don't know where to start to change it. And high blood sugar, type 2 diabetes, like natural support of type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes. That's my main areas.
Mm.
Yeah.
This is really incredible that you're in this space helping because diabetes is one of these, like I have people in my life that have had diabetes, and it still blows my mind that it's that people have to like pay to stay alive and to do these things. And there's so much that you can do, I've seen with diabetes when you have your diet in control, when you know those things about how your body works. So I think that this is incredible that you help people with this. It's an act like an actionable, hey, go and chat with this person, go and work with this person because
Yeah.
they can really help you understand why your energy level is low, why you're feeling like shit, why you're so tired, all of these things, and just see. And this goes back into the beginning, how you said like everything was just very connected, right? It might be your physical that you're trying to change, but it could be emotional or mental or things like that too, to just kind of get things feeling on track and feeling good in your body.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for doing this work with people. Thank you. Hmm.
I am happy I can help, and I'm really happy I can help, honestly. And I know how it can be because I've come through a long journey myself. That's why I became a nutritional therapist. I know how it can feel, and I know how it feels when you try to figure things out, but you can't, and you because you're missing that piece of what's happening, how I can change this, because it's the test results seem to be normal, but I don't feel normal. There may be like some medication offered, or like, or doctor may say, well, we don't know what's wrong with you. You seem to be okay, but you don't feel okay, and you want to change it, but you can't because you're missing that piece of information. The diet, well, the diet, the food, the lifestyle, the little habits, how we live everyday life and what we do in everyday life, that's missing. And that can do a lot, especially with type 2 diabetes, because it's what we consider a lifestyle disease. It doesn't just hit you overnight if it's type 2. It develops gradually, mainly like how we move, how we eat, how we sleep, and all these important areas. And there is a lot we can change, yes, with just adjusting little things, what we eat, um, how we exercise, how we move, like how we work when we go to sleep, the stress. It can help, and it helps a lot. And people get so surprised, like, wow, I haven't done anything, I haven't changed my medication, nothing. And it's just I feel better, like my blood sugar's gone down, and it helps.
Mhm.
Yes. I like
Yeah.
helping women with that because it's hard to figure it out on your own, especially if you're not a doctor or not a nutritionist. It's hard to figure out on your own, and like obviously there is Facebook, there's social media, and I see people a lot in the groups asking what I do, how do I eat, how do I change things, but if other people who are answering the questions, if they are not doctors or not nutritionists, it may not lead anywhere. So
Mhm.
expert advice, it's very important in these situations.
I really hope everybody goes back and listens to that whole segment again, because it is hard. We don't know where it is that we're starting or any of that stuff. I see people too in Facebook groups all the time asking about wellness or support or what to do, any of those, and people, there might be peer group and people are helping or supporting, but it's a different answer for peers in terms of what somebody that's a professional or an expert or something that knows a thing or two about nutrition that could help them in that space a little bit differently than a peer support person might be just commenting as well, right? So yeah, this is incredible work that you're doing out here with people. And it's nice to be able, like now, like I'm automatically in my brain too, I make these connections and pathways of, if I talk to somebody and I know that they're going through a journey with diabetes or they're needing some support or help, I can think, Vera, like she knows things about diabetes that I do not know. She has a blog. Like, let's just hot potato and pass things over to Vera because she can help people in this space and give some really sound, practical, like easy ways to start shifting, not changing entirely, because that's what you were saying before, but just
Yes, it's
little
true.
things to just start. It's like that piece of the puzzle, right? Like that integration, slowly, that flower analogy that was, slowly whisking these changes just like a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is really, really meaningful work that you're supporting when people with. So thank you.
I'm glad I can help.
Mhm. Amazing. Okay, well, thank you very much, Vera, for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, all right, everyone. That's another episode of Wellness Me Up. Here's to you getting a little bit more wellness up, one episode at a time, and we will catch you later.